Hi, it's Pat Gillis here. And if you start taking riding lessons, it won't be long before you'll hear your instructor start to talk to you about trotting diagonals. In an indoor riding arena, we'll speak of the outside being closest to the walls and the inside being closest to the center where the instructor is. It's a little more complicated than that, but that's the easiest way to explain it. So your instructor will tell you that as you rise, you should be looking to see that the outside shoulder is going forward at the same time. Now, I'll bet you, if you ask most people, why do you rise when the outside shoulder goes forward, they will tell you that's because their instructor told them to. A lot of places in Europe that will tell you not that you're on the wrong trotting diagonal, but rather that you're on the wrong hind leg. And that's your hint right there as to what trotting diagonals are all about. It's actually when you start to go through corners that it matters. So we rise on the correct trotting diagonal, on the correct hind leg, when we're in indoor arena or when we're in any area where we're going to be making turns. We rise on the correct leg to help the horse with his balance. But in order to understand that, we probably have to know how a horse moves. The horse moves in diagonal pairs. He springs from one diagonal pair of legs to another diagonal pair of legs, but with a moment of suspension in between, a moment where there's no feet on the ground at all. And so we're trying to rise as that outside shoulder goes forward. The thing is, it really has nothing to do with the outside shoulder. It has everything to do with the inside hind leg. We use the outside shoulder in those instances because we want to be, if we know how a horse moves, we know that when that outside foreleg is going forward, the inside hind leg is going forward. It's actually the inside hind leg that is of concern to us and not the outside shoulder at all. That's just our reference point, the outside shoulder. And the reason we want to be, so when we get off the horse's back as that inside hind leg comes off the ground, we encourage the horse by getting off their back to swing that inside hind leg further underneath their center of gravity. So the horse is passing through a turn. We get off their back, which encourages the inside hind leg that is now coming off the ground to swing further underneath the horse's center of gravity. And when we come back into the saddle, that inside hind leg is well underneath the horse's center, almost under the girth, and supporting the horse as he makes the turn. That's okay, except what if you're on the wrong one? So you're trotting around and you look down and you're rising when the inside shoulder goes forward. So now you have to change it. In this direction, this is the outside shoulder, right? But if now the horse goes and changes direction, now this is his inside shoulder. So somehow we have to be able to figure out how to change that. Okay, now if you watch now, you'll see Amber leaves the saddle as Holly's right front leg comes off the ground. Okay, and here she goes again. She leaves the saddle as that right front leg comes off the ground. But now the horse is going to be changing the direction. She's going through the middle of the arena. So her new outside front leg is going to be her left one. So Amber is going to sit for an extra beat in a moment to change that. Okay, and now she rises when the left front leg is coming off the ground. Did you see that? So Amber's going to do it again. Only this time, she's exaggerating it a little bit so that you can see it more clearly. So she leaves the saddle and comes back down. Leaves the saddle and comes back down. Leaves the saddle and comes back down. And then the next time she sits for the extra beat. So she leaves the saddle and now she sits, and then leaves the saddle again. Again, she's exaggerating that a little bit just so that you can see it. Okay, so it's up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. Okay, so one more time as she comes around and changes the rein through the diagonal, it's up, down, up, down, down, up. And now she's on the correct hind leg as she goes in the new direction. Okay, so just to wrap this up then, remember that when you're rising, when the outside shoulder goes forward, it's got absolutely nothing to do with the outside shoulder. It's got everything to do with that inside hind leg. So now, if anybody ever asks you, why are you rising when the outside shoulder goes forward, you're going to be able to tell them why, instead of just saying, because my instructor told me to. If you're watching this anywhere besides at our blog, which is at ismyhorsehappy.com, go on over there, scroll down, leave a message, leave a comment, let me know what else you'd like us to talk about. And in the meantime, we will see you next week. Enjoy your horse. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon.